Asia's biggest agro exhibition, Maha, is back. Bring your family to discover the agriculture, horticulture, and agritourism with exciting attractions and live performances by your favorite artists. Maha 2026, 28th August to 6 September at Maipserdap.
DAP's Ming has weighed in on whether party delegates should vote for DAP leaders to stay in or leave the cabinet at this weekend's Congress. Meanwhile, analysts are calling for MPs who walked out during the Tabung Haji RCI debate to face cuts to their allowances. All this and more on KiniNews. DAP delegates will decide on August 16th on whether the party should withdraw or remain in the federal government. Ahead of the Congress, DAP's Ming has weighed in on the debate.
In a statement, Ong stated that there are good reasons for the delegates to vote to remain. These include to ensure a smooth tabling of the 2027 budget, to ensure policy stability through a period of economic uncertainty caused by US President Donald Trump's policies, and to not give BN the opportunity to pull support from the government and trigger an early general election. Meanwhile, he said there is only one good reason why delegates should vote to leave, which is to force Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's hand to deliver at least some political reforms before GE16. Ong claimed that Anwar only responds and reacts when there is strong pressure being put on him, which was why DAP's Secretary General Anthony Loke had called for delegates to vote. He said that this was a way to remind Anwar that the party's delegates had the power to force the DAP leaders to resign from cabinet and to use it as leverage to pressure him to deliver on some of Harapan's manifesto promises. He pointed out that if delegates vote to leave, the party's leaders can still decide on the timing for DAP cabinet members to resign. He said they can still come to an agreement with Anwar that they will only resign after the passing of the budget and can negotiate to pass through crucial legislative changes, such as the PM term limit bill and an Equal Parliamentary Allocation Act. Ong added he hoped DAP delegates would read his message and vote leave rather than choose to remain.
The walkout by several opposition MPs from Parliament during the debate on the Tabung Haji RCI report has sparked calls for their taxpayer-funded allowances to be docked. Several political analysts said the argument by the PN MPs that the sitting should have been postponed as Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim was absent did not justify the walkout.
University Malaya political analyst Taufik Yaakob pointed out that ordinary workers can face disciplinary action for being absent without a reason and question why elected representatives couldn't be held to the same level of accountability. He highlighted that they receive salaries, allowances, and various facilities from public funds and said that they should be accountable for the mandate given by the people. He stressed that while some parties may view walking out as a political strategy, abandoning responsibilities should not become an accepted political culture. To enforce accountability, Taufik proposed publicizing attendance registers, docking daily sitting allowances for unexcused absences, and fining repeat offenders. Meanwhile, Ilham Center Chief Researcher Yusri Ibrahim likewise argued that Parliament must take tough action against all MPs who participated in such walkouts. This is regardless of whether they belong to the government or opposition. He insisted that Parliament withhold all logistical claims and allowances from the involved lawmakers, noting that public funds pay for these amenities. He told Nashikini that Parliament needs to be firmer because every cent of the remuneration and amenities for MPs is paid for using public funds, taxpayers' money.
Meanwhile, BN said the findings should be respected as part of the institutional process and stressed that the reforms must continue.
In a statement, BN Secretary General Zamri Abdul Kadir said the coalition welcomed the RCI's findings and recommendations. He noted that the inquiry focused on the period from 2014 to 2020, but said a comprehensive review of Tabung Haji's governance should also examine other periods. This includes developments and decisions after 2020, including the role played by Urus Syarta Jemaah Sendirian Berhad since its establishment. Zamri said the RCI's findings on governance, power structures, the separation of functions, and checks and balances should be viewed as a basis for strengthening the institution rather than as an opportunity for short-term political gain. He added that BN welcomed the improvements already implemented. including steps taken to implement the RCI's recommendations, and stressed that institutional transformation must continue. Zambri also pointed out that BN chairperson Ahmad Zahid Hamidi had, from the outset, supported the RCI report being made public and debated in Parliament. He said Zahid had also proposed broadening the review to ensure more comprehensive transparency. According to Zambri, this demonstrated that BN had never sought to prevent public scrutiny of issues involving Tabung Haji. He stressed that depositors' interests must take priority over political considerations. He also urged all parties to avoid making baseless allegations, passing political judgments before the legal process is completed, and creating narratives that could undermine depositors' confidence without a responsible basis. From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us.
Still on the RCI report, former Auditor General Madina Mohamad has claimed that the RCI did not call her for her testimony. Madina, who held the post from 2017 to 2019, said she was present at the Islamic Development Department during the proceedings but was never called to give a statement.
According to Berita Harian, Madina said she was therefore denied her right to be heard. She added that she was not given an opportunity to respond to the RCI's report, which had criticized her office for a lack of firmness during certain periods. Madina also said that every decision she made on Tabung Haji in 2017 was guided by the national interest. This, she said, was why she signed off on a clean audit opinion that year while attaching 2 emphasis of matter. She added that she had exercised professional judgment to issue the EOM to draw attention to 2 material matters identified during the audit. She stressed that her decision to flag the 2 matters through EOMs rather than issue a qualified opinion was based on audit evidence and international auditing standards.
Meanwhile, the MACC said it is considering engaging foreign forensic experts to assist in its investigation into the findings of the RCI report.
MACC Chief Commissioner Abdul Halim Aman said the investigation involves matters relating to investment decisions, agreements, contracts, meeting minutes, and other documents that require detailed forensic scrutiny. According to Bernama, he said there are a large number of documents involved in this investigation that need to be reviewed and scrutinized, and this requires specialized examination as well as expertise. He added that discussions on the appointment of forensic experts are also subject to the costs involved. He said the forensic experts will also work together with the specialist officers at MACC. Halim also said MACC has so far opened 14 investigation papers and taken several enforcement measures, including arrests, remands, and seizures. He said the investigations involve inspections and searches at 28 premises. He added that a total of 115 witnesses have been called in for interviews and had their statements recorded at the MACC office, while 7 suspects have been detained, 5 of whom were remanded.
A group of civil society organizations and individuals has called for Parliament to serve its full term until its expiration on December 18th next year. This is to realize as many reforms as possible to improve the country's democracy and governance.
In a statement, the 69 signatories said the current parliament should remain in place until its term expires unless the government loses the confidence of a majority of MPs. The group also called on Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim to convene a cross-party leaders' summit involving both government and opposition parties. The proposed meeting would seek to agree on a reform agenda for the remainder of the parliamentary term. Among the proposed reforms are separating the roles of the Attorney General and Public Prosecutor, limiting the Prime Minister's tenure to 10 years, and ensuring constituency allocations are distributed fairly among all MPs. The group also urged that parliamentary committees be strengthened, the process for drafting and reviewing the budget be streamlined, and channels be established for tabling, debating, and passing private members' bills. It called on all coalitions and political parties to support the institutional reform agenda, saying the reforms will benefit any future government and create a level playing field. The group also called on all 13 state governments to enact laws requiring development allocations to be distributed fairly among all assembly persons. For the full list of proposed reforms, head to malaysiakini.com.
Next, we have a branded capsule brought to you by YTL AI Labs.
At the AI Malaysia Takeover 2026, YTL AI Labs is taking on the role of AI platform partner, bringing its technology and expertise to a wider community of Malaysians.
So what we want to do is to provide the platform for the lay people, non-technical people in Malaysia to be able to build agents, and thus we are bringing our Agents a Minute platform in such a way that it is based on this technology called OpenClaw. And what we want to do is to allow Malaysians to be able to build their own AI agents to enable their own personal lives and their businesses as well.
The focus is on making AI more accessible, allowing people without technical backgrounds to build and use their own AI agents.
AI is, as a technology, is quite different from our previous breakthrough in technology, such as the internet or cloud computing. The previous breakthrough are democratizing the movement of bits for information. But in this particular case, it democratized intelligence. AI democratized intelligence.
That ambition also reflects a wider push to ensure Malaysians are not only users of AI but are equipped to create with it.
We are strongly encouraging ecosystem to build, and we build some of it ourselves as well, including, as you can see, the Right Bank applications and also the UmiChat applications. In UmiChat, it is a window for you to talk to generative AI, specifically our Ilmu large language model. Beyond that, you can also build software with it, and it will be immediately be deployed within your UmiChat interface.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm John. Thanks for watching.